I'll have that. There we go. Competition over. Now. There we go. All right. Okay. So I used to work in elderly care. I really loved that job. You become an extension of their family. You become enmeshed in their life. Very rewarding work. I used to do something called the Care Home Tour, which is comedy specifically tailored for people with dementia. Quite a repetitive show. But I love mine nonetheless. And when you first go into the care home, there's a sign that says dignity for everyone, every day. And that's a good maxim to live your life by, especially when you're trying to preserve the dignity of these people who require it in their autumnal years. First thing I see at the start of shift, dignity for everyone, every day. The only problem with that is I then spend the next 14 hours washing old knobs for minimum wage, so... Where's my fucking dignity? There's this one guy, I love him, and I was washing his old knob. It's part of the job. It's not like they get to a certain point and become self-cleaning, then they're not a dreadlock. So I was washing his old knob and he went to me, Pope, you must hate this job sometimes, having to wash old knobs all day long. I wanted to be candid and say, yeah, you're right, mate, it's disgusting, but that felt needlessly offensive, so I took a different route and I said, no, it's fine, mate. I like it. The wrong route to take. I've got no beef with old knobs. We've all got kind of biological degradation. We've all got our crosses to bear in that department. Like I've got love handles. I've got flat feet. I look like I've just come from a Slavic wedding. I also had cystic acne, so that my chest looked like a climbing wall for Sylvanian families. It was fucking disgusting. Now, surprise, surprise, I am a drug addict, and my dad is actually a detective inspector, so you fuck that one up, Mark! And this is a confession, this has to stay in the room. I recently did this thing, actually, consult with lawyers and whether this was incriminating myself, but I said, I'll take the fucking risk. So, when in the care home, as we all know, there's a lot of drugs knocking about, a lot of opiate painkillers, and I set a moral threshold for myself, which is I was never going to deprive these people of the pain medication they need to manage their pain. I'm not going to deprive them of that for recreational purposes. I never did, but I did find a loophole, which is when they die, that shit's up for grabs. Finders keepers at that point. So I'm a drug addict, and I get a bit... So recently, just before Christmas, I tried to kill myself. And the reason I mention this is because if this doesn't go well for me tonight, I'm going to try it again. And on your heads be it. But no, I did. I'm being flippant. I'm being flippant, but I actually did try to kill myself just before Christmas. I popped a plastic bag on my head, once around the block, tried it for size, wasn't for me. And I duct taped the plastic bag to my neck, and the reason I think this was more of like a suicidal gesture or like a dress rehearsal was because I actually put a cardboard collar on my neck, so I didn't want there to be any ligature marks. I didn't want anyone to know what had transpired here. And when I told my mum that, she went, "You stupid boy, we would have known what happened because it would have shown up in the post-mortem." I went, "Mum, if it'd been a successful suicide attempt and I actually died, I think the big old bloody bag on my head would have been the biggest gift. When's a detective just going to mistake that for shopping? Like, what have they bought today? Oh, just a sad junkie. Slavic, apparently." But the next day I actually got an email from a Dr. Ryan Shelton, and the subject heading was "Old age is now optional." I thought, that's a fun way to market suicide. I tried to vacuum seal my own head before Christmas. I'm all in, mate, don't worry. So, when you're as a drug addict, there's certain people like offbeat, marginal characters who come into your orbit. And there's this one guy, and he went to put something in the bin, fell over next to the bin, but thought he'd fallen in the bin. So he's turtle shedding like this, bin's over there, he's here, and I go up to him, I go, "Oh, you're right, mate." He goes, yeah, just in a bin, ain't I? I said, no, you're not actually in the bin, you're next to the bin. He went, I've been in enough bins to know when I'm in a bin, thank you. I said, no, honestly, bin's there, you're there. He went, okay, all jokes aside, if you don't help me up in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to have a panic attack. And he did. He had a full-blown panic attack. He was grasping at thin air because he was next to the bin, not in the bin. And the only way we could stop it was to go up to him, take a photo of him not in the bin, and show it to him to prove he wasn't in a bin, right? But when we showed it to him, he just went, oh, thank God for that. I cannot be late home again, so I got caught in a bin. She'll take full custody of the kids this time. Now, I'm going to end on death. There's a lot of bonhomie in the room and I want to destroy it. So, no, in the care home, one of the things that's an honour and a privilege, it sounds a bit morbid, but it is being there when one of these people die. This is the terminus of a 90-year lifespan. And you're there sharing that moment with this person. Is there a more profound sense of intimacy you can have with a human being? And there's this one woman, and she had laboured breathing, and I held onto her hand. I said, you're people who love you. You're people who care about you. You can let go now. You can let go. I was coaxing her into the Empyrean. And she looked at me and she went, and I said, she's gone. She's gone. Then she went, oh, not yet. Okay, I'm quite a tolerant person, but this happened 4 more times. And by that point, I was like, why are you ruining your death for me? Ate into my lunch break as well, fucking fuming. You've been lovely, thank you for listening to me, guys.